Okay, so back again with the daily vlog update, and it looks like the camera's, stable on the driving wheel. But anyways, it's the 10th of May, 2021. It's day 10 of Nofap for this streak, and you can tell I'm out in my car again. So my mobile recording studio, but so wanted to start off with some positive stuff, some of the things I've gotten done today. And by that, I mean, it's essentially like one big task, but there's, it's like multiple smaller parts within it. But I've gotten to the 1/4 mark in that 2021 complete Python bootcamp on Udemy. And assuming I get, through the next day or two, or so, however long it takes, get to the halfway mark, that means that one of the 2 milestone projects I'll have done. And I would like to start, I would like to not start, but to be writing it in, I think it's called Sublime Text. It's a text editor. That way, when I do save it, I can save it as just like a .py or Python file, and then I can upload that to my GitHub. Depends upon how they have you do it in the course, but I'm hoping that's the case, or I can just copy the code that I'll have written from like a notebook that I might have to write it into like a Sublime Text file, and then save that as a into Sublime Text, and then save that as a Python file, or I could just do that there directly. So get at the halfway mark, have that one done. There's one more milestone project, and then they have the capstone project. So, having gotten all the coding exercises done, I'll at least have 3 projects I can add to my GitHub to show, hey, I know how to write a bit of Python code. I don't foresee myself as being like a, top level expert on Python after completing this, but I'll definitely have a nice overview and sort of an awareness of a lot of the features. I think, honestly, like, and this may just be myself, but I see like I'd have to have far more specific applications in the future. I mean, I think I'm more of an applied learner, but this is a good basis. I'll be getting through this, obviously, but probably take some other courses in the future that are like, let's say, bioinformatics focused, or maybe automated software testing, especially if it uses like Python or any of these other languages that I'm learning. But so worked on that. Going to continue with that. See how many more sections I can get through by the end of the day. By the time I obviously fall asleep, I'm just kind of being like hyper focused on that and just trying to knock those things down. I did send out an email or respond to the Hamilton folks. I'll have to wait to hear back from them, basically, because I got the spot reserved in that course, and I've agreed to the current price, which it's a big ticket item. It's several $1,000s, but the idea is to get that done, get that on my resume, on my LinkedIn, and I can basically throw that around, so to speak, to sort of get the recruiter sort of biting, so to speak. And then at least if I get some interviews set up, I at least get an idea of what they're looking for. That sort of thing, get some practice with that. That'd be great. But I essentially emailed the Hamilton folks back and was like, okay, if I could get in contact with the accounts group, so I could pay for this course, get locked in, that sort of thing, that'd be great. Because I'd asked them like if they could process a debit card. Oh, I'm gonna turn on the car. This is kind of getting a bit warm in here. But essentially, I was like, I have the cash right now. I like to just pay for the class. Because between you folks and myself, I don't typically have just $5,000 drop into my account and just be sitting there ready to be used or saved or spent on something. So I just wanted to get that done and over with, so I'm just locked in with that, and then I can just focus on all these other things. with the dates I written down on my calendar, so I'll be ready to go. It'll be on the 8th of June. I think it goes to like the 11th. Yeah, it's 8th, 9th, 10th, and then it's like half a day on the 11th on the Friday, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday. And you get a nice certificate of completion, and you can essentially list that on your LinkedIn, list that on your resume, and being able to say that you can program these machines. I mean, it's a really hot skill to have, especially in the biotech or even pharmaceutical industries. It's one of those specialized skill sets where it's like, okay, like if you can do that, like there's not that many people who can or who have the knowledge or the experience with that. And I think that, and combined with knocking down as many of these programming boot camps, creating as much code as I can for these different languages, that'll be really the key to knocking open those doors. Because I might not get the position right off the bat. I might have to go through a few interviews, but even just being able to not only just get a call back in terms of like a phone screening, but also to get an actual like Zoom interview with folks on the automation team. And I'll definitely want to like throw in some questions like, okay, like if it's feeling like I'm not getting picked, like what would I need to do, other than getting this job, basically. What would I need to do in order to be a good candidate, and I feel like if I get these certifications knocked down, like that's the best that I can do without actually having like experience working in a position like that. So that's what I'm aiming myself towards. And right now it's kind of like I'm just working on this stuff like a fiend. Like this is all that I do pretty much every day, is just work on these boot camps, or work on this specific boot camp and knock those courses out. And if it means waking up in the middle of the night at 1:30 a.m. or so, roll over, make myself some coffee, roll out of bed, make myself some coffee, and then get everything fired up and going, and just go for as many hours as I can until I get this stuff knocked out. Because now is the time. Now is the time that I have the opportunity to do this sort of stuff, and I really need to get this done while I can. It's like really in that sort of that spot where this time will close up, and if I haven't gotten these certifications, if I haven't got that knowledge, if I haven't built up my GitHub, I'm gonna look back and regret it. So but anyways, other than that, not much has really happened, except with my family, where it was like last night. Apparently my sister had another bad fall. I don't know how many falls she's had over the last like several years, but she had this bad fall. Apparently it turned out she broke her fibula. I don't know which leg. Supposedly at first it didn't seem all that bad. Then it started swelling, and then my dad told her, you got to go to the ER. So they took her, and I guess my dad was there until I don't know how late he was there until, but I guess they did whatever they could or would do to essentially get things stabilized. And then she went home, and my dad fell asleep eventually, and I texted him like, are you in the hospital, etc., etc., because I didn't understand some of her text messages. It was sort of like the classic Oxford comma missing, so therefore you think like she said that she broke her fibula on the way back from the hospital. I'm thinking like, wait, you broke your fibula on the way back from the hospital? Like you guys were driving home, and like what happened? But it was like, no, she broke her fibula, and then she said, oh, by the way, now I'm on my way back, And I thought, maybe my dad would be there in the hospital with her. But he texted me back at 6:30 something. It sounded like he'd gotten a few hours of sleep, but it was oh, and he woke up and he was oh, I want to go back to sleep. So told him get some more rest. And then I put in this sentence at the end. I hope you're not working on another stroke, because maybe that wasn't the best thing to say, but last time around, it was she'd been in and out of the hospital 6 times in the preceding 3 weeks from before I had talked to my dad. And then that time was, this is the time I'm referring to, that was a week before he had his stroke. And, that's why I felt like saying that. Not that it's going to change much, So while there were, hiccups on my end, so to speak, even after I moved out of the house 6 years ago, it was they had 6 years and they didn't change doing what they were doing, the way they were going about things. And now it's okay, obviously nothing's going to change, And it's last weekend, talking to my dad, it was he was trying to guilt trip me for moving out of the house. Guilt trip me for, trying to establish myself here, getting established to enough of an extent that, I've been able to work and pay off all these debts and whatnot. And obviously I don't have a job right now, but I'm not going back there, because that's just, that would not only end everything, because I know how the influence of the environment would be, the frame that I'd be operating within. It would just be no, and they're not going to understand why the heck I had to escape, or not even escape, why I had to get out of there, why I had to move out of there and move on, and so they're not going to understand. They're not going to really care why. And they'll, of course, they'll try and tell me, oh, things have changed, and if you come back here, it's not going to be, and it's no, I've heard that stuff before. I know know how things are going to work. But, he tried to guilt trip me for getting out of there and getting myself on my own 2 feet. That, I couldn't be there to help him clean out their in-ground pool and all this other stuff to do for them, And obviously you get, okay, this is how they see you as a guy. They see you as a utility, as someone to be useful to them. And everything's conditional based upon how much you've done for them lately, And I'm not willing to live that kind of a life, not anymore. Not anymore. But yeah, it's the same old with them, and I'm gonna try not to dwell on it, because I got stuff that I'm working on right now, and I'm trying to make that leap, or make that run at getting through the gauntlet and getting to that spot that I really need to be at in life, because I can't keep doing this sort of thing, even if I get another technician job and I work at that for another 6 months or a year. I mean, it's not gonna really get me where I need to be going. Stuff outside of work might, if I go and I sign up for some more classes and I actually do well in them, and I get these certifications and etc., that will, and the job would at least keep the lights on, keep me moving forward financially. But I got a lot to do right now, and I need to be focused on myself, and I can't be letting not just them, but anybody else's continued bad decision making and problems become my problems. It's that whole idea, don't let somebody else's problems become your problems. And at the same token, don't make your problems into somebody else's problems. You got to keep the two separate. If you want to be all going on about how, I don't want to be dealing with their issues, or I don't want that to become part of my life. Well, at the same token, don't be making others take time out of their day and their lives to help you with your issues or so. You know, it's great and all this, nice to have someone to talk to, but beyond that, like, you know, I've generally speaking kept the issues that I'm facing to myself and just tried to do my own work, you know. And you know, I've realized that, you know, it's like, it's the kind of sort of I'm kind of, I don't know, kind of digressing here, but I've realized, and you know, thinking about this sort of stuff, all those times when I would say I need to figure this out or figure that out, I didn't need to figure anything out. I just need to do the work. You know, it's kind of like wanting sort of like the cheat codes to life, or the cheat codes to some sort of process. Yeah, it's like there are no cheat codes. The cheat code is doing the work. So like getting these certifications, getting these boot camps done, getting the grades I need to get in these classes so I can bounce back. That's the figuring it out. It's something you need to figure it out or understand or know what you have to do. You just have to do what you need to do, you know? But anyways, what else did I want to comment on? Oh, I'll probably be making another video after this, because I sent out another payment on that student loan, so I wanted to talk about the sort of the financial status of things. Obviously, like, I can't be doing what I might have ideally wanted to have done, which is just to pay the whole thing off. But you know, I'll talk about that in another video. Yeah, so I saw that I got a couple new subscribers. Welcome to my channel. You know, this is a sort of daily Nofap blog sort of thing, and just working on getting my life together sort of a deal. And you know, hopefully maybe I inspire some folks to do that sort of same thing with themselves, you know, that they see me doing the work and they get inspired and they go start doing the work themselves. So yeah, and of course, you know, maybe I drop some Nofap advice here and there when people, you know, ask for it. So anyways, kind of a short video compared to my usual stuff, but I just want to get back inside and get back to work on that boot camp. So you know, after I make the Journey Out of Debt update vlog video. So anywho, thanks for watching, and I'll see you folks around. Bye bye.